Maryland shall issue v. Moore has been granted an en banc hearing. Let's go ahead and talk about what that means for you if you're in Maryland and what an en banc hearing is. What's up, Wolverines? Welcome back to the channel. It is me, the intrepid journalist extraordinaire, John Crump, and on this channel we talk about everything 2A related. This channel is known as John Crump News because that's what we do. We talk about the news, and I'm John Crump. Okay, guys, go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. We are marching to 50,000 people, and we should be able to hit that by the end of the month at the latest, hopefully, but we'll have to see. All right, guys, today we're going to be talking about Maryland Shall Issue, which is a great organization out of Maryland, and they are one of the premier state-run gun rights organizations in the country. Maryland Shall Issue has fought for a bunch of different gun rights in Maryland, and they're just great people. Maryland Shall Issue versus Moore challenged Maryland's handgun qualification license. In order to buy a handgun from a dealer in Maryland, you have to go get what's called a handgun qualification license. You have to go to an instructor that is certified by the Maryland State Police. I know because I am one. You have to take a class specifically for Maryland, and you have to do a live fire test. If you pass all that, you get fingerprinted and everything else, and then you can go ahead and apply for your handgun qualification license. This is definitely unconstitutional in my eyes, and it was unconstitutional in the eyes of a circuit court, a panel of 3 judges from the circuit court. But before we get to that, what happened is Maryland Shall Issue went to a district court where they lost to Maryland. Maryland won the case, and Maryland Shall Issue appealed to the circuit court. A 3-judge panel from the circuit court heard the arguments and decided that the handgun qualification license violated the United States Constitution and struck down the law. Maryland asked for an en banc hearing, and an en banc hearing means that the full bench will hear the case. Basically, whatever happened with the 3-judge panel is thrown out. It is vacated. It is like it's never happened. It is a do-over, but instead of a 3-judge panel hearing the case, the full entire circuit will hear the case. And this is in the 4th Circuit Court, and it will be heard down in Richmond. So between March 19th and March 22nd, there will be oral arguments in front of the en banc. The en banc is the full bench, and the full bench will rule whether the handgun qualification license violates the United States Constitution or if it is constitutional. I 100% believe it is not constitutional, but there is a catch though. The 4th Circuit Court of Appeals is an anti-gun court. They are no friends to gun owners, and they are no friends to gun rights. So I would not be surprised if the 4th Circuit Court of Appeals fines for Maryland. I hope it doesn't, but they are really, really partisan, so I can see that happening. If they rule by the Constitution, then they have to rule for Maryland Shall Issue and knock down the handgun qualification license. Now, no matter who wins, no matter who loses, both sides will end up going to the Supreme Court. Whoever loses will appeal to the Supreme Court. And if this goes to the Supreme Court, this will have a rippling effect across the landscape, because there's no way that the Supreme Court is going to find that handgun qualification licenses are constitutional. They might, but I doubt it. I can never say 100% sure what the court is going to do, but in this case, I think the Supreme Court will rule for Maryland Shall Issue when it gets to that stage. It's not to that stage yet. They have to go through the whole en banc hearing, and that will be heard, like I said, between March 19th and March 22nd. We don't have an exact date yet, but it will fall somewhere in that window. After that, it will probably take them several months to actually issue a ruling, and then we'll have to see. Handgun qualification license fails a couple different things, especially the Bruin test. The Bruin test says that any law has to be consistent with the text, tradition, and history of the Second Amendment. First, the plaintiffs have to show that whatever the law is, it's not within the original text of the Constitution. In this case, that's easy because there's nothing in the Second Amendment saying that you need to have a handgun qualification license to buy a handgun. Then the burden shifts to the defense. The defense has to show that it is consistent with the tradition and history of the Second Amendment. I can already tell you what they are going to say. They're not going to look at the ratification date of the Second Amendment because if they do, there's no analogs. There's absolutely zero analogs for a handgun qualification license. What they're probably going to do is look to 1868, which is the ratification date of the 14th Amendment. After the Civil War, there was a bunch of new gun laws put in place to prevent blacks from getting handguns or any type of guns, really. So what I think that they're going to do is they're going to point to a bunch of racist Jim Crow laws and say, see, the government says we can do that because the founding era is not 1791. The founding era is 1868, which is ridiculous, but we have seen other states try to defend their unconstitutional laws by using that date. And we even saw a panel of 3 judges down in the 11th Circuit by that, even though that is going to Banc and that decision was vacated as well. We have seen anti-gun states use that excuse, and we have seen anti-gun courts actually use that as well. So we'll have to see what will happen on this case. But I do believe Maryland shall issue is in the right here, and whether it is at the circuit court level or the Supreme Court level, I do believe that they will win. I also believe that if this goes up to the Supreme Court, I am of the belief that the Supreme Court will probably grant a writ of certiorari to this case. A writ of certiorari means that the Supreme Court will hear the case. Basically, what you have to do to get to the Supreme Court, you file a writ of certiorari, and that is just a petition to SCOTUS to hear the case. And I believe that they will, because I think they want to put this decision to bed. It has to get through the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals before it can even get to the Supreme Court. So before this case is settled, we are probably looking at between 18 and 24 months. That includes the filing for a writ of certiorari, and if the Supreme Court grants cert, then that includes oral arguments and their final decision. So this is a long battle. The courts do not move fast. I know we're supposed to get a quick and speedy trial, but that's just not the case. That's not how it actually works, and that's something that I would love to change. So we'll have to see what happens, but both sides are probably busy writing their briefs right now. I'm reaching out to Maryland Shall Issue to try to get a comment for an article over on AmmoLand. Once I get that, I'll write it up and I'll post it over there so you can go ahead and read that over there. All right, guys, there's tons of ways to support me down below. There's even an Amazon link. I know a lot of people don't like Amazon, but it's a necessary evil, I guess, now. There's a lot of stuff you can't find anywhere but Amazon now, which is kind of sad, but whatever. If you use that link, I get a kickback for the next 30 days, no matter what you buy. Even if you don't buy anything on my list, if you just click that link, it puts a cookie on your computer, and for the next 30 days, I'll get a little kickback, which will help me do videos like this. You can also buy my book over there, Masters of Firepower, which you can buy on Amazon. So you can click that link, buy the book on Amazon by using my link, and then, yeah, you can do that. That would be fantastic. There's also locals and Patreons and a bunch of other stuff down there. So if you want to help support me and help me make videos like this and help me piss off the ATF, go ahead and do it. And with that, we are out of here. So stay ever vigilant, stay ever free, keeping the fight. I was going to do another video today, but I kind of forgot. I got busy doing other stuff. So I'm going to do that video for tomorrow. And that will be interesting, and I think you guys will like that one. So just stay tuned. Wolverines, motherfucker.